The Battle of Carberry Hill was a significant event that took place in Scotland in 1567. It arose as a result of the marriage of Mary, Queen of Scots, to James Hepburn, the Earl of Bothwell, who was widely believed to have murdered her previous husband, Lord Darnley. A number of Scottish lords who were opposed to this marriage and were seeking to avenge Darnley's death confronted Mary and Bothwell at Carberry Hill, near Musselburgh. The rebels, known as the Confederate Lords, were led by the Earl of Morton and included the Earl of Argyll, the Earl of Atholl, the Earl of Mar, and the Earl of Rothes, among others. The standoff at Carberry Hill lasted for several hours, with both sides marshalled against each other. The French ambassador attempted to negotiate a resolution to the conflict, but the Earl of Morton made it clear that the Confederate lords were determined to fight against Bothwell, whom they saw as the murderer of Darnley. Bothwell's forces fired their cannon at the Confederate lords, but no shots were exchanged. Eventually, Mary surrendered and Bothwell escaped. After the standoff at Carberry Hill, Mary was forced to abdicate and was imprisoned. She later escaped and fled to exile in England. The Confederate lords continued to fight a civil war against Mary's supporters, who were led by the Earl of Huntly. The Civil War was characterized by a series of skirmishes and battles, including the Battle of Langside, in which Mary was defeated and fled to England. The Battle of Carberry Hill and the subsequent Civil War had far-reaching consequences for Scotland and the wider region. It marked the end of Mary's rule and the beginning of a period of instability and conflict that lasted for many years. The defeat of Mary and her supporters at Langside also marked the end of the Catholic cause in Scotland and the triumph of the Protestant Reformation. The conflict at Carberry Hill and the civil war that followed also had an impact on the wider political landscape of Europe, as it was seen as a victory for Protestant forces over the Catholic cause. Ultimately, the Battle of Carberry Hill was a turning point in Scottish history, marking the end of an era.